Right, am I live? Yes, I am. Right, let me quickly share that on my screen now. Let me quickly share that on my Twitter. But yeah, we are back for another preview for the Carabao Cup game. I did a little bit in my last live stream. But we are looking towards our Carabao Cup fourth round tie against Brighton and hove Albion. If you are new, like, sub, and share the content around. But yeah, we have got the press conference from Mikel Arteta. Let me make sure my stream actually got. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, we have got the press conference for our game against Brighton. There apparently are going to be some injury concerns apparently with the team, but we are going to look at the press conference now. Before we do, like, sub, share, do whatever you have to do to help the channel grow, and we are going to get straight into it. And we're going to get straight into it because there is already injury news coming out. After defeating Port Vale 2-0 in the third round, we hosted Seagulls at the Emirates Stadium in what will be our 250th encounter in the competition's history. Straight away, in regards to William Saliba, he is out. We are assessing him, but he won't be involved in this match. Now, he came off against Palace, and I've still not got any confirmation as to why he's come off. The fact that he's going to be out for this game shows it isn't the greatest. However, hopefully he is all right, because I think Mosquera will play anyway. So it'll be probably Hincapié and Mosquera that will play this game. Which, to be fair, I don't mind, but at the same time, I have no idea if Brighton and hove Albion will actually go strong or not, because obviously we've got a long season ahead, and Arteta has a history of being in these Carabao Cups, and I don't know if Brighton will bother taking it seriously, or whether they will be focusing on getting into Europe through the league. I mean, to be fair, you think that they're playing one game a week, they would be focusing on this game. However, it will be interesting to see how they approach this. Declan Rice will be available. Calafiori will be available. Gabriel Martinelli is going to be out. We have to do some more tests and see the extent of the injury, but this game is going to be too early for him. So, just like that, Saliba and Gabriel Martinelli are out. I'm not sure what happened to Martinelli. I've got to have a look at that. On Bukayo Saka, he said he's going to be okay. To be fair, he should not be playing this game anyway. Probably should be starting Ethan on that right hand side. On Danny Welbeck for Brighton, very happy for him. We were teammates in the whole history. Him, the good and difficult moments he's had in his career. It's remarkable what he's doing. The same with the team and Fabian Herzler and the coaches. The continuous work that they've done at the club is incredible. I think Fabian has added something slightly different. Very difficult to beat them. You've seen the results against the big teams as well, so we're expecting a very tough match. And that is, to be fair, we have not beaten this side under Fabian Herzler yet. I don't think so anyway, because we drew home and away to Brighton last season, which in the long run ended up costing us costing us for the title last season. On if he feels like the trend set up with our set piece prowess, I don't know, but a lot of things that we do in many other aspects, I'm sure teams will pick them up. We do the same with other teams. The best teams in Europe are doing certain things. If you can gather information and adapt it to your own team, if you find that this can help and be a way in which you can win football matches, more than welcome. That's the history of humanity. be fair, this guy's got a history of copying Pep because the centre backs and fullbacks he's copied, the inverted fullback he's copied, the not playing a proper number 9 he's definitely copied. Now he's got a number 9, doesn't know how to use him properly. So this guy has got a history of copying things, and it's ironic that the people that have won this D title since Pep has been here, they're the teams that have gone away against what most people were doing. You had Klopp with the sort of rock and roll football. You had Arne Slot, who basically used Klopp's way of playing because it was working for him. And now we're seeing what it's like when he's actually playing his own style of play, which, as we can tell, is not great. But yeah, he's definitely got a history of copying Pep Guardiola. Oh, pardon me. Yeah. Anyway, minus the one that I'm interested in on the importance of the Carabao Cup. Today, the most important one because it's the game that we have. It's a competition that we haven't won in many, many years, and it has to start tomorrow. We have to play a great game in order to be able to beat a very good Brighton side. We know that we are prepared for that, and we have to show it on the pitch. Now, we know this guy's being a compulsive liar in press conferences, so I'm hoping he actually means that in saying that we are actually going to try and win the game. And whether we do or not is going to be influenced by his lineup. Yes, we can afford to make rotations now because we've actually got a decent squad. However, if this guy starts fucking about and bringing in like proper quite young like youth players that haven't played any games, then we are going to know what he's on. I do think he will pick a very sort of rotated 11, and I think he will win this game. I will get into that later. On Ben White's fitness, yes, he did have a setback, and that hasn't helped. But I think in pre-season, he was probably our best player. I didn't watch much of pre-season, so I don't actually know about that. I think he played every game, and he was in great form, and we need him because when Ben is at that level, he can show he's a top player for us, a player that drives the team in a different way, gives us a different threat on that flank as well, and we need him at his best. And to be fair, whenever I have seen whenever I have seen Ben White play this season, he's not been great. And to be fair, you can put that down to him hardly playing any games because he has been not been playing many at all. So I guess you can put it down to that. Or if you can make the World Cup squad, there's still a lot of months to go, and in football, everything can change in one way or another. And if Ben wants to do that, if Thomas Tuchel believes he's the right player to do so, I'm happy for him. He will have here, I'm sure, a lot of minutes, a lot of opportunities, and obviously his background. And to be fair, Ben White sort of told Southgate to get stuffed when he knew he wouldn't be playing. And to be fair, I think at that point in time, he probably was England's best right back because Reece James was hardly fit. You had Kieran Trippier there, but he wasn't all that. Let's be completely honest. And I'm not sure what the situation is like because if I'm being correct, he hasn't really showed up or he hasn't really been involved in any other England squads. So it will be interesting to see what that World Cup squad is going to be like. Do I think he'll make it? No. I honestly don't believe this guy will get enough minutes. That's a shame because Ben White is a good player as well. What other questions actually matter? Right, there's quite a lot of random questions here. Okay, on the noise I made around. Okay, right. Actually, this one on the defensive evolution in his time in charge. Well, yes, because I think we discussed the other day about a very close relationship between keeping clean sheets and not conceding goals and winning major trophies. And that's the foundation that we are building over the last 3 years, and we need to continue that tomorrow again in competitions that you are either in or out. You know how crucial that is. I agree there has been a defensive evolution. Our defence has gone from here to here, However, our attack has gone from here to here, and he has not found the balance between playing defensive and attacking football. Don't get me wrong, the way we defend is very, very good. One thing about Arteta is that he has coached a very, very solid defensive unit. However, when he mentions about winning major trophies, you've also got to win games as well with goals. And I think we scored about 30% of our goals have come from open play, which is, I think, towards the bottom of the league, which is very concerning. But yeah, he's got to find a balance between that. And that was even a problem last season because we didn't even have that much attacking quality. And now we have attacking quality. There are still things that, if I'm being real, I'm not happy about at all. On the noise made around us, well, probably it is true because it's such a big club that obviously we make a lot of noise. Yeah, our fucking fan base do as well, don't they? Whether it's good or bad, mostly bad because our fan base again make a lot of noise. But that means that people are paying attention to that. We know our history, and that's very normal. Hopefully, we can make noise for good things. And to be fair, since social media has become a thing, that's going to be a given because when you're a big club like Arsenal, people can joke about however as much as they want. We are a massive club. However, we have made so much noise in the past 4 or 5 years because we have not been winning, and that noise has been spread out social media, on the news, wherever it may be. Until we actually start winning, the noise that will be made around us is that we're a failure of a club. And yeah, I'm sure because a lot of people say, "Oh, why Arsenal lives rent free in people's heads." When you're a massive club, that's what it comes with. That's the baggage it comes with. When you're someone famous, like an actor, everyone is monitoring what you do, whether it's in your personal life, in your acting life, in your celebrity life. Everyone is paying attention to what you do. And when you think of like the likes of Lamine Yamal, his social life is being, everywhere in the news, and it's only because of social media that this thing is blown out of proportion. Because I can guarantee you there are so many players like that had sort of outgoing lives back in the past before social media was a thing, but because there wasn't any cameras, any smartphone cameras, they weren't being as highlighted as they would be today. And the same goes for Arsenal. Because we're a massive club, we are going to get that traction. That's what comes with the that is what comes with the territory, I'm afraid. But yeah, uh, on Piero Hincapie's versatility, another word, versatility. He's a warrior. He's going to bring so much intensity, physicality, and emotion to this team as well. He's quality on the ball. He's a player who is super keen. He can play inside. He can play in wide positions. He's done it, as you said, in different ways. And now we need to get him up to see, because the moment that physicality, he's at his best, he's going to raise a level. To be fair, we couldn't really take much from the game against Crystal Palace. He came on for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can tell he's a decent player on the ball. Whether he can defend or not, I don't know. When Arteta mentions about bringing emotion to this team, that is the complete opposite of what we need. We need people who in the big moments can, people can look up to and say, right, we're in a bit of adversity. We need some control in the situation. And I've always said the team is the reflection of the manager. You can tell how emotional we are as a team, and that clearly comes from Mikel Arteta, because you can see on the touchlines and in his press conferences most of the time, he's a very, very emotional person. Right, on Ethan Nwaneri's positional change, a bit of everything. At the end, the context of Bakayo's injuries and not having a replacement as well opened that opportunity for him to break in and have a lot of minutes at his age. And now that he's more settled, he's more stable, more mature, we can see him playing a lot inside in both positions. That's where his biggest threat is. That's where I think he feels most comfortable as well, and that he can connect better with teammates. But it doesn't mean that he cannot play out wide. He can do it still. But I think that needs to start developing him in one more position. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that means he'll be starting tomorrow, which is a good thing. He should be starting. I will get into my starting 11 in a second, but I think based on this press conference, he is going to be starting. There's a bit about Kepa. On if he will still make a goalkeeper substitute in a game. Recently, we've had quite a lot of issues, and a lot of the subs have been because players cannot finish games. But I don't know. Maybe someday I will do it if I feel it's yes. Now, the context behind that is that I say maybe a couple of years ago he was asked about when David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale came in, and he was asked a question by some random person in the press conference about if he would change goalkeepers, and he says that he would sub goalkeepers if he felt like it. Now, whether that was tongue in cheek, we don't know. Arteta's a weird guy at times, but someone obviously brought it back today, and he still says that he would do it. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that because I'll be real. This guy speaks in riddles at times. On the setback to Ben White after pre-season, it was an injury that kept him out for a few weeks, and we have some managers load, pause, yo. And he didn't have the rhythm to do that. So the reason why he's not been playing is to manage that. He's in a good place now. He's been training more recently, and his feeling has been very good, and he will have more minutes to play. And continuing on, if he should have had surgery sooner, I don't know. That's more for the medical staff, but obviously we want to protect our players. We're never going to expose players if we know that we're going to damage them for the future. Right, I'll stop right there. So why the fuck did he go 3 months needing surgery, and you were still playing him? Because it was out there now. He did play with a he did play with a knee injury. Played Declan Rice with a broken toe. Played Havertz injured, I'm pretty sure. Played Madueke injured against Manchester City. Played Bukayo Saka injured multiple times. Thomas Partey when he was here. Julian Timber. Gabriel Martinelli. Again, has a long history of doing this, but never gets called out for it. Because if he's not okay, he won't say because he wants to play every game, which is great. But with that injury, he didn't allow him to have that consistency, and hopefully now he's going to get that rhythm because his team needs him. Then again, you got a duty to care as a manager. You have to be looking after your players, and this guy's man management is an absolute joke. Let's just be completely honest. Right. But I'm going to give my predictions for the game. Obviously, do play Brighton or Albion tomorrow, like I said. I do expect a lot of rotation. I'll go for my starting 11 now quickly. I think Kepa will be in goal. Ben White will start. Mosquera will start. Hincapié. And Lewis Geddy will get a game. And Norgard will probably start this game. I think it'll be Norgard, Marino, and Dalman. No, I think Norgard, Marino, Ethan, Max Dalman. Who can start on the left? Madueke's out. Saka is on the right. Most likely Martinelli on the right. And then up front, because Kai Havertz isn't still fit, I would not be surprised at all if we started Gyökeres. Would I want it to start? It's probably not ideal, but I guess you wanted to try and get some goals. But at the same time, with that starting 11 in mind, which I think he will start, he cannot take Brighton for granted because if they play a strong team, and you can tell when they will play a strong team, they can definitely hurt us. Against Manchester United, they were unlucky. Well, Man United deserved to win, but they were unlucky, Brian, because they actually had a go at that in that game. And Brighton's overall style of play, they're a team who they always try to have a go. And do I see them win? I could definitely see them winning this game. I'll be honest, because they've hurt us before in the past. I think they beat us 3-1 at the Emirates. I think in 22-23, and I think that was our first attempt at the League Cup as well. And we threw that away straight away. But I do think we will win this game. Score prediction, I'm gonna go 2-1 to Arsenal. Actually, yeah, because we're gonna have a rotated defense. But yeah, I'll go 3-1, 3-1 Arsenal. I think we will get the win. I think we will progress to the fifth round. Um, and yeah, but hopefully this guy doesn't throw the competition away like he done last time, which he's got a massive history of doing that. And if he is going to win anything this season, it's the first trophy you can win. He may as well have a go at it. Let's just be completely real, because if we win this Carabao Cup and it's the first trophy you can win, it sets the mentality for the rest of the season. Whether we're in the Champions, well, we will be in the Champions League. Whether we're still in the title race by then, FA Cup if we're still in it by then, it sets the precedent to have a successful season. And winning this trophy, Pep Guardiola done it when he first came. Jose Mourinho done it when he first came in 04 or 05. I can't quite recall because I wasn't actually alive then. Pretty sure it was 04, or 05, sorry. But we have to take this competition seriously and not bottle it badly like we done in the semi-final last season against Newcastle. But yeah, 3-1 to Arsenal. I'll give them my team lineup. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, sub, and share the content around. I'll see you lot in a bit for the match reaction tomorrow. And yeah, Arsenal, don't let us down now. Don't actually take this competition seriously.